Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. I have a handful of friends who have made the sacred pilgrimage known as the Camino de Santiago. It's a 500-mile journey that pilgrims have been making for centuries on foot from France to Spain. And they make it for all sorts of reasons. One of my friends made it simply because she was at a point in her life where she was feeling like she had lost herself and lost a sense of life and made it in the hopes that she would find herself again. She did do some of that work, but what she found was something she didn't expect. She talked about as she made the journey, what kept being affirmed in her life was that if she was going to find any sort of life, she was going to have to come to peace with life's elusiveness, that she was always going to be seeking and searching and restless and questioning and hungry for meaning, and that elusiveness was precisely what gave life its flavor and its richness and its meaning. She encountered something profound and divine, but she encountered it all dancing in this deep sense of elusiveness. She's a gift for me because she reminds me that if I'm going to find some peace in life, I too have to embrace that elusiveness. Not something I'm always comfortable doing, not something we're comfortable at doing if we're honest. But yet, it's in that elusiveness that we so often encounter God working and dancing. In today's gospel from the Daily Office, we're invited to reflect on chapter 7 of John's gospel, where we encounter Jesus dancing in all of this elusiveness. It's a text that begins with Jesus going into the temple and teaching, but he teaches with this elusiveness that leads all sorts of people to wonder in all sorts of ways, what's going on here? And sadly, instead of being willing to dance with that elusiveness, they do what many of us often do, which is try to define it away or confine it or box it up because we're simply not comfortable living with all of that elusiveness. Some looked at Jesus in the text and said he must be possessed by a demon. Still others wondered where he got his wisdom, and they thought, well, we don't know where he went to school to learn this, what tradition he's teaching out of. Or they thought, well, he's too familiar. We know where he's from. There can't be anything rich and revealing in his wisdom. Still others tried to box him in with their anger and rage and sought to have him arrested. But Jesus kept dancing in that elusiveness and inviting others into that dance along the way. He continues to invite us to dance in that elusiveness as well. So today we're invited to pause and pray, reflecting on how we've come to experience that invitation to dance with the divine in life's elusiveness. Maybe it's found, like my friend who made the Camino found it, when we honor just a sense of restlessness and lostness in our lives, but see it as an opportunity to find and discover something new, to learn that we're human becomings constantly and not just human beings. Or maybe we find it in the treasure and great gift of human diversity, which reveals to us all quite clearly that none of us has a monopoly on wisdom and life and truth and experience. But today we also pray for the grace and the humility to let that elusiveness be and stir, to let the mystery be, as the old folk song sings, not to try to box it up and define it, but rather to dare to dance with it into new and deeper life. God's peace and blessings to you all.